Hi guys, and welcome back to the Female Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Danny, and today is a solo podcast. So I thought I would just do a little bit of catch up to begin with, and then talk a little bit about my approach to coaching at the moment and why I don't coach quite so many bodybuilding competitors anymore. So this weekend has been a busy one. I've actually had quite a few clients compete in bodybuilding, which is, I've had clients compete already this year, but I think it's the busiest weekend I've had of bodybuilding competition so far this season. Earlier this season I had Millie do a few shows and I had Emily step on stage as well, but they were the odd couple of early competitors in the year, and now it's starting to get a little bit busier. So today's Sunday when I'm recording this. Yesterday, so Saturday, I had 3 clients compete with the UKDFBA. Those clients were Beth, Megan and Heidi. They all absolutely killed it. Megan and Heidi were both first time ever stepping on stage. And they competed with the UKDFBA, which, for those of you who don't know, is a natural bodybuilding federation. So it's drug tested, meaning that you're on a level playing field when you're competing if you're a natural athlete. And for those of you who don't know, I only coach natural competitors. I don't take on clients that want to take performance enhancing drugs. All of my girls are natural athletes. I coach majoritively bikini competitors and a few figure girls from the girls that I do coach. I don't coach many bodybuilding competitors anymore. I am primarily focusing on clients who want to progress whilst maintaining a little bit of life balance and maintaining their health. Whereas with bodybuilding, like I've spoken about so many times to you guys, you are putting your physique above your health. So you're actively accepting that to some extent you are sacrificing your health in order to get stage lean and produce the best version of yourself for a bodybuilding stage. So with the sport of bodybuilding, health is not your priority, and that is part of the reason why I don't coach as many competitors anymore, because I really value health for myself and also for my clients as well. And I want to be more of an advocate of an all-round approach to nutrition and training where you still have your health intact and you don't push to that extreme extent that you have to be able to produce the best look for stage. I don't want to promote that as much anymore, hence why I don't coach as many bodybuilding competitors, because I want to be an advocate of making great progress in more of a balanced manner where you're able to sustain good health, still enjoy other aspects of life, not completely sacrifice everything just to make body composition related changes. And I want people to be happy in their own skin whilst their health is intact, their mental and physical health. So that's more of what I want to promote these days. But back to the point, I had 3 clients compete yesterday who did incredibly well. Like I said, Heidi and Megan were both first time ever stepping on stage. Megan won her class and Heidi came third. They were in the same class, did incredibly well. And Beth also stepped on stage. It wasn't her first time stepping on stage, but she had improved so much from the last time she stepped on stage. I think she ended up placing 4th from the footage. However, I just want to emphasize during this podcast how placings are not the be all and end all. I am so happy for my girls when they do place well. However, placings do not define you. They are not the be all and end all, and you ultimately have to be competing for yourself when it comes down to it. You have to learn to take the end result in your stride, whatever it is. And if it's not, we all of course strive to win in the sport of bodybuilding or whatever sport you do, whether that's CrossFit, whether that's Olympic lifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding, we always strive to win. But true champions know how to handle the occasions where they don't get that first place medal. And you have to be able to enjoy the process and take the positives from the process on the occasions where you don't win. And ultimately, the placing is very largely out of your control, no matter how hard you work, because you don't know who else is going to turn up on the day. And this, like I said, applies not only to bodybuilding, but powerlifting, CrossFit, Olympic lifting, whatever sport you decide to participate in. You can't ultimately control the outcome. You can only control what you put into the process and what you get out of that process personally. You can't control who else turns up on the day. In sports like bodybuilding, you can't control what the judges are going to be going for on that day. You can't control who's going to be judging and who their eye is going to be drawn towards. You can't control what the look of the girls is that turn up on the day, because when you're in a bodybuilding lineup, basically they'll look at like their average and who stands out against that average. So who turns up on the day sometimes dictates the criteria to some extent as well. In bodybuilding, unfortunately, there's also often politics involved, more with some federations than others, but it's something that we have to bear in mind. If you're competing with a non-drug tested federation like the PCA or Two Bros and you're a natural athlete, you have to accept that you're competing against athletes who are taking performance enhancing drugs, and therefore they might have a slight advantage if you choose to be natural, and you have to accept that. So there are so many different factors which are outside of our control. We can't control the outcome of the competition mostly, but we can control what we put into the process and what we take from that, because there's more to competing than just plastic trophies, first place medals, and social media posts and all of this. We do it, well, you should do it for yourself, and there is so much to be taken away from the process regardless of placings, like the self-development that comes with the process, how you've learned to push yourself mentally and physically as a person, and the benefits that come with that, and the fact that that resilience can be applied to other aspects of life such as your work. There is the education that you've gained around training and nutrition. There's the relationships and friendships you've built with other competitors, the community that you've exposed yourself to. There are so many benefits to be taken from the process, regardless of your placing. And like I said, it's out of your control, so you have to be doing this for yourself. You can't rely on placings to motivate you, to make you happy. You have to be doing this for yourself, and you have to find happiness in other aspects of the process. So yeah, although I'm very, very proud of my girls when they do place well, I take the emphasis off of placings, and that is not the be all and end all, and it's not all we do this sport for. And you have to be able to enjoy the process and take the positives from it regardless of what placings you get. And I always emphasize that with my team, and I'm so proud of them for so much more than their placings. That doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't affect how proud I am of them, and it doesn't affect how proud they should be of themselves, because there's so much more to it than that. And ultimately in bodybuilding and any other competitions for that matter, if you are improving from one competition to the next and you're bringing the very best version of yourself possible to that competition day, that is all you can ask of yourself, and you should be proud of yourself if you are doing that, because that is ultimately the goal. You have to stay in your own lane. You can't control the end product. So there's a little bit of a rant on placings for you. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my approach to coaching in bodybuilding and beyond that as well. So I'm personally not the kind of coach who will drive you into the ground and completely sacrifice all of the aspects of life and your health just to get you to the stage, because I care way too much to do that. I care about my clients' health so much. I care about them as individuals so much. and I care about their quality of life. And bodybuilding requires positioning, like I said at the beginning, your physique above your health when it comes to your priorities. However, I will always take the approach of trying to limit damage as much as physically possible. And I would rather pull a client out of a contest prep if I thought that the sacrifice to health was becoming too great, than sacrifice everything just to get them to the stage and just to get them a certain end product. My values lie with health and striving for progress without sacrificing all other aspects of life now. And that is why I mostly coach women who do not wish to step on stage, other than a select few who I think are a good fit for me. So, for example, if a client came to me and their goal was to get their pro card in a non-drug tested federation, so maybe the PCA or the IFBB, they would not be an appropriate fit for me as a coach, because they would have to consider taking performance enhancing drugs first of all, and I don't coach competitors who want to take performance enhancing drugs. My knowledge isn't great enough on performance enhancing drugs to coach them on that, and it's also just not in line with my values as a coach, because I care too much about my clients' health, and there are huge health risks that come with taking performance enhancing drugs. So it would make me feel very conflicted to coach athletes who do take performance enhancing drugs, and that is why I don't do that. It wouldn't sit right with me. So if your goal is a pro card in a non-drug tested federation, I'm not the coach for you. On top of that, another reason why I wouldn't be the coach for you, even if you decided to try and stay natural whilst pursuing that goal, which would be very difficult because most people who achieve their pro cards are assisted. It is just a matter of fact now. Even if you wanted to stay natural, when you're in pursuit of being the best of the best and achieving a goal like your pro card, often to get there, you have to give your entire life to the sport of bodybuilding, and you do have to sacrifice other aspects of life, and you're going to sacrifice your health more than the average competitor if you're working towards a goal such as your pro card, because you're probably going to, for example, have to do more shows in a season. You're probably going to consider doing seasons back to back if you're really in pursuit of a goal like that, and you're probably of a certain mindset where you're willing to make those sacrifices to get that goal. And if you're of that mindset, then again, it probably wouldn't sit right with me as a coach to sacrifice all of the aspects of your life just to get that goal. So I'm more of the coach of bodybuilding clients who they want to limit damage. They don't want us to completely sacrifice their health just to get to the goal of stepping on stage. Now, obviously, like I said at the beginning, when you compete, your physique comes above your health, and you will, to some extent, sacrifice your health temporarily. But my approach with bodybuilding competitors is to limit damage as much as physically possible. And I really care about that a lot. So the bodybuilding competitors that I coach, we do take the approach of limiting damage as much as possible. We still try and maintain function in other aspects of life wherever physically possible. And I will always advise that they run improvement seasons between their competitive seasons, so they're not just competing every single year on year, because that can come with negative consequences. I will always advise them to take improvement seasons between their competitive seasons, and I will generally advise them not to let their season become too drawn out, because again, spending such a drawn out long period of time in that state of low energy availability when you're very close to stage lean is not good for your health. So I'll generally advise against that. So these are just examples of how I'm not the type of coach who is going to sacrifice everything just to let you compete, just to let you step on stage consecutively, just to let you do one more show. I care too much about health and my clients' health. And like I said, that's why I don't coach anywhere near as many competitors anymore. And I'm very reluctant to take on new competitors. I take on I'll take on new competitors if I really think that we are a good match after we've had a consultation call. But I'm not actively seeking new competitive clients, and I am trying to promote more of a sustainable approach to nutrition, training, and overall health. I want to educate people, and I want people to be able to make incredible performance related progress and body composition related progress without taking it to that extreme of stepping on stage. And I want people to question themselves as well. So if you set yourself the goal of stepping on stage, why do you need to do that? For what reason? Is it because you truly love the sport of bodybuilding and you love every aspect of it? So both the improvement season, both the contest prep, not just the fat loss phase, because fat loss is not bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is the entire process. It's the improvement season, it's the prep, it's the mental fortitude that you have to have. It's dedicating almost your entire life to it. So do you love the sport of bodybuilding? Are you really aware of what it takes? Are you really aware of what you have to sacrifice? Are you aware of the potential negatives that come with it? If yes to all of those questions, then I would consider that bodybuilding may be right for you. And if it really makes you happy, then do it. However, if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, if you even have an inkling that it might not be an appropriate goal for you, but you're still going through that process, ask yourself why. Why could you not do something like a photo shoot instead to push yourself towards and celebrate your progress? Why do you have to step on stage? Why do you have to push yourself to that extreme? Could there be an alternative which doesn't come with those same sacrifices, which doesn't come with those same negative health effects that bodybuilding does? Because being stage lean is not healthy. So couldn't you just, like I said, do a photo shoot and not quite push to that extreme, but still use that as a measure of your progress with your body composition and a chance to celebrate yourself and celebrate the skin that you're in? So there are alternatives to bodybuilding, and I think sometimes people are too quick to jump to having stepping on stage as a goal when maybe they should consider other routes, and maybe they should consider a slightly less extreme approach to achieving their goals, which is going to be better for their mental and physical health, which is going to be better for their relationship with food, which is actually going to improve their quality of life and enable them to enjoy social occasions and human connection more often. So I just want to question people. I want you guys to question yourselves when you're setting yourself goals and ask if it's really what's right for you, and ask yourself what in your life do you really value, and are you able to prioritize those values via the goals that you're setting yourself? Or are you sacrificing those values just to reach a certain goal, like stepping on stage? It's fine if you value your body composition and value pushing yourself to the absolute extreme in bodybuilding above your health and above human connection and above your social life. That's a decision for you. But if you really value your social life, if you really value your cognitive function for your work abilities, if you really value travel, if you really value your hormone health, and if bodybuilding would mean sacrificing those things that you value, then it might not be the right goal for you. So why not try something else? This is just a bit of a podcast to make you think, I suppose, and also a bit of an update on sort of my coaching practices and how I'm sort of striving towards promoting more of a sustainable approach to training and nutrition. And I hope that more people take that route, because I think sometimes people are a little bit too quick to set something like stepping on stage as a goal without thinking it through properly and thinking about whether it's really right for them and whether it's really what is going to make them happy and what's going to really improve their quality of life. Stop thinking about what other people are doing. Stop thinking about external gratification from social media and what's going to get you the most interaction and likes, and do what's really right for you as an individual. And that is how you're going to live the happiest life that you possibly can. And that's how you're going to get the most success, when you're really living in line with your own values and what really makes you happy as an individual. So focus on you, stay in your own lane, do what makes you happy. And that's what I'm doing right now with sort of shifting my coaching practices as my values have changed. I used to value bodybuilding and my aesthetics above my health. And my values have now changed, and I value health much more. I've learned the importance of human connection. I've learned the importance for me of a really good social life. I've learned the importance of looking after my health, and I want to be an advocate of that. So I'm actively pursuing putting out that message because it's what really matters to me, and I'm always acting in line with my own personal values, and that's what I want to promote as well. So a little bit of a ramble there. I am going to finish off with some work for the rest of this evening, and then I have a very busy week this week. I have a few consultation calls with girls who are interested in joining my team, Team DB, which I'm super excited for. I love the consult calls that I have because it's just a really great opportunity to get to know people. For those of you who don't know, anyone who is ever interested in working with me, they can book in for a free consultation call with me via the Calendly link in my Instagram bio. And during that call, it's basically just an opportunity for us to talk through things in a little bit more detail. It's an opportunity for us to get to know each other. You can ask me questions, I can ask you questions, and then you can go away and make more of an informed decision on whether coaching is right for you. And then I have a little bit more information on you and what you're wanting to achieve as well, and your history, so that I can program appropriately for you as an individual. And yeah, it's just a great chance for us to catch up and get to know each other a little bit and decide whether we would be a good fit. So I'm really looking forward to the calls that I've got booked in this week, and taking on some more clients. And it's been nice taking on some more non-competitors, to be completely honest with you. Like I said, I want to promote health. I want to promote a slightly more sustainable approach to nutrition and training. I think less people should be completely sacrificing their health just to get leaner, for example. And I think there are often better decisions that people could be making in regards to their body composition, health, training and nutrition related goals. So yeah, really looking forward to taking on some more non-competitors. This week I also have a one-to-one client in on Tuesday. She is basically my case study client for my strength and conditioning qualification that I'm doing. So I am training her once a week on a Tuesday at a local facility, really enjoying that. And basically I'm doing a strength and conditioning session with her once a week. And then this weekend coming, I also have my strength and conditioning qualification practical weekend. So I'm going for the weekend. We're going to do some practical workshops on Olympic lifting, on warm-ups, all of that, programming for strength and conditioning, all of that jazz. And I think I should have that finished soon. So I'm looking forward to getting that boxed off. I love furthering my education, so I've always got something on the go. And I already have my performance nutrition diploma, so the strength and conditioning qualification ties in really well to that as well. So looking forward to having both of those combined. And I also have an Instagram live Q&A scheduled for Tuesday evening with Leah. Leah is on Instagram as Leah Whole Fitness, and we're doing these Instagram live Q&As where we ask you guys if you have any questions, and there's honestly no such thing as a stupid question. We are just happy to help however we possibly can. And the Instagram live will be saved to one of our Instagram pages, so you can watch it back at a later date if you can't make it. So if you do have any questions for myself or Leah or both of us, please drop me a message on Instagram at Danny Bosworth, and I will answer those during the live with Leah. And I hope you will have a wonderful rest of your day. I know you'll be listening to this on a Monday or onwards if you listen at a later date. My uploads on the podcast are every Monday morning at 6 a.m. For those of you who don't know, it is on SoundCloud, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts, and I'm going to try and get it on Spotify. I just don't know how to do it yet. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and hopefully it will be up on there soon. But I hope you enjoyed this podcast, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to listen/watch. I genuinely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Like, I do this for you guys. So thank you for interacting, and thank you for your support. If you do enjoy the content on the Female Fitness Podcast, if you could like, subscribe, share on your Instagram story, drop me a message if you have any feedback or any questions. It would genuinely mean the absolute world. So thank you so much, guys. And I will see you in the next one, and let me know if you have any requests for future episodes in terms of guests or topics, and I'll see you in the next podcast.